So what gender-affirming care does not do for my son who identifies as non-binary or for anyone who is gender diverse, it doesn't make them more non-binary. It doesn't make them more transgender. It is a form of care for them. By the same token, withholding gender-affirming care from anyone would not have the ability to make them less likely to be transgender. So withholding gender-affirming care will not make less transgender youth. It will just make the transgender youth that are out there struggle and have to cope longer than they would have. So we previously discussed that gender-affirming care constitutes an array of things and different types of support for transgender individuals. Yet so many people are misled to think that it just involves medical interventions and the leap to surgery or even the leap to hormones for people, and that's simply not the case. Medical gender-affirming care is important for individuals as well, and what's needed and when is an individual decision. So for my son, that meant starting testosterone at 16. However, for others, it could mean starting puberty blockers before the onset of puberty, depending on the individual and what they need for their transition and their ability to be able to cope with their diverse gender identity. I think it's insane when people that don't have transgender kids and are not part of families with transgender individuals jump on a bandwagon to say what should or should not happen to an individual that's supported by doctors and has been supported by doctors and clinicians, and to be able to say this child shouldn't have this or this child should have that, and to be so easily led to believe that children are having medical surgeries and things like that. That's insane to me. That's not what's happening. What's happening is that families are needing to be able to draw upon their resources in the form of their pediatricians and clinicians and the individual themselves and their knowledge and their history and all the things that go into that person being who they are, to draw upon all those things to make the best decisions for that individual person. And that should not be denied. This is medical intervention because it's a medical necessity for that individual person.